Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Tomney, I was pleased to read in the FHFA Office of Inspector General's annual plan for fiscal year 22 that the office you're nominated to lead is planning an audit of, quote, FHFA's initiatives responding to the executive order on advancing racial equity and support for underserved communities through the federal government. And given the immense disparities faced by minority home buyers, I believe it's imperative that FHFA does everything in its power to promote racial equity in its role as a regulator of housing finance. Do you agree that reviewing FHFA's racial equity initiatives will make the agency more effective?
Thank you, Senator, for the question. I agree that there have been new discussions and focus in that area, which is certainly the purview of the policymakers. And to the extent that more focus is paid in that area, I certainly commit to engage in robust oversight of that activity so that we can provide information to key stakeholders such as Congress and yourself, as well as the agency, to understand the courses of action that they're taking.
So you're going to, if you're confirmed, you're going to follow through on what the FHFA already has said that they intend to do, no?
Thank you, Senator. Yes, to the extent that the OIG has committed to engaging in that, yes.
Well, the FHFA plays a critical role in maintaining a fair and healthy housing finance market. And a critical part of that mission is ensuring that all home buyers, regardless of race, are treated fairly. So will you commit to making this review a top priority if confirmed?
Senator, yes.
All right. Now, I was glad to see that the FY 2022 FHFA plan contained a planned evaluation of, quote, the FHFA's efforts to identify and address potential appraisal bias and valuation disparities. Now, home ownership is the cornerstone of intergenerational wealth in our country, particularly for low and middle income Americans. However, home ownership can only lead to wealth building if homes are properly appraised and valued. Will you commit to making this review a top priority?
Senator, thank you for the question. I certainly commit to, if confirmed, in the office, rolling up my sleeves and making sure that that is addressed quickly.
Well, I appreciate hearing that because minority homes, we know, are not properly appraised and valued thanks to numerous studies, including one from Freddie Mac showing that about 15.5% of single-family properties in majority Latino and 12.5% in majority Black census tracts are appraised lower than their contracted price compared to 7.4% in white neighborhoods. That is a fundamental, dramatic difference. That's why these types of audits would be so important. So if confirmed, what will you do to ensure that FHFA's new appraisal policies are effective and not harmful to minority home buyers?
Thank you, Senator. To the extent that those policies are implemented, I will ensure that the office follows through with doing rigorous assessments, looking at metrics and models to ensure that they're producing meaningful reports that are helpful to all of the stakeholders, including the American public.
Ms. Salehi, Exim has always found ways in which it can improve. I believe it has ways, I should say, in which it can improve when it comes to racial equity. For instance, the most recent Exim competitiveness report noted that only 14.6% of Exim's direct small business support went to minority and women-owned businesses. These businesses were among the hardest hit by the pandemic, so it's critical they have access to the tools and assistance to remain competitive. By the way, before the pandemic, they were also the greatest rate of growth among small and mid-sized businesses in the nation. Do you agree that part of Exim's mission is to support minority and women-owned business efforts to engage in international commerce?
Yes, Senator. In the 2019 reauthorization of the bank, I believe that Export-Import Bank has a mandate for small businesses, so to do business with small businesses.
So how would you help Exim improve their performance when it comes to the issues of racial equity?
Thank you for that question. This issue of diversity and inclusion is a priority of mine. It's a very important issue, and I hope that when and if I am confirmed, to be able to basically bring that tone of the fact that diversity matters at the top and ensure that my Exim OIG staff finds areas of opportunity when they do their work of audits, inspections, and evaluations, with an eye towards diversity, inclusion, and this priority. I also would like to make sure that my own staff within Exim OIG is empowered to think through these issues of diversity and inclusion and include them wherever possible for management of the bank to think through them.
Well, let me close by saying an IG's purpose is to make the agency they oversee more efficient and effective. And Exim certainly has a lot of room to improve on making racial equity a greater reality. So we look forward to working with you upon your confirmation to make sure that happens. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.